Hello everyone. Welcome to my lecture on the topic Sources of Finance and Role of Business Economist. To begin with, we are going to learn about the concepts relating to capital. Capital is a money used to build, run or grow a business, and the capital requirement for a firm depends upon its size and its level of operation. So it is not a fixed amount which is owned by a company. It differs from one company to the another company. The total cash outlay needed to start a business is also called a capital, and it forms the basis to start the business, and finance is the life and blood for any organization. So the capital can be in the form of capital can be held by the firm in two different ways. So capital can be held by a firm in two different ways. That is, one is fixed capital. That is, fixed capital can be again in the forms of a tangible fixed assets. Tangible fixed assets, that is, assets which have certain form and the shape. Examples can be your machinery, building, motor car, vehicles, or furniture and fixtures, etc. Intangible assets are those assets which doesn't have any physical form and shape, but still has certain value and worth for the company. Like example, it is trademarks, your copyrights, your goodwill or a reputation held by the company as such. Financial fixed assets are nothing but your long-term financial investments made by the company. And the next form of the capital that is being held is working capital. Working capital is a minimum amount that is to be related to the firm in order to meet its day-to-day requirements or day-to-day operations. So the formula what we use to calculate the working capital is equal to current assets minus current liabilities. This is also a not a fixed amount that is defined. It differs from one company to the another company depending upon its size of operations. Next one is need for capital. To start and promote growth, we need capital to conduct business operations smoothly, to meet administrative related expenses, for expansion and diversification of the business, to pay dividends and interest to the shareholders and debenture holders, support welfare activities, and replace old assets with the new ones so that it will help in more efficient functioning of the business, to meet unforeseen contingencies or unforeseen financial requirements at any point of time, and to wind up of a company also, or to close down the business activities also, we need capital
to support that activity. Now, when we are talking about the capital, as we know, one single person cannot meet the requirement of investing the capital to his business. So they need to identify the sources from where they can raise the capital for the smooth and efficient running of the business. So the sources of the capital are basically divided into two categories. One is conventional sources and the non-conventional sources. Conventional sources are those sources which are structured and which are traditional financial institutions specially set in the market to deliver that services to the companies. And non-conventional sources are nothing but they are outside the traditional avenues of equity debt financing, and these sources will be innovative and unconventional in nature. Coming to the first type of conventional sources is debentures, preference shares, equity shares, retained earnings, and bank loans. Now, and non-conventional hire purchase system, leasing and renting, venture capital, angel investors, crowdfunding, commercial papers, factor servicing, and merchant bankers. Now coming to the first one under conventional sources, that is debentures. Debentures are a type of a debt instrument issued by companies to raise capital. Debentures is also a promissory note to pay interest, is a promise to pay interest and principal to the debenture holders, and they are the creditors of the company. They will be paid interest out of the profits. They will be paid before paying the taxes to the government. Next type of a conventional source is preference shareholders or preference shares. These are the shareholders will have preferential rights regarding the dividends. These shares are not transferable and they do not have any voting rights. They are also termed as a preference shareholders, which is also a long-term source of financing for any company. Equity shares, they are ordinary shares. These are ordinary shares. They do not have any preferences regarding their dividend payment or payment of dividends. They do have a claim on the residual amount after payment to the preference shareholders, but they will be given voting rights to elect efficient board of directors. Shares are transferable. Retained earnings. Every management will keep aside certain earnings to meet some unforeseen expenses. It is a significant source of finance to the company. It is a part of the profits are set aside for its future requirements. Bank loans. Bank extend loans at fixed rate of interest. This can also be a long-term debt as well as a medium-term debt for companies. Non-conventional sources of finance. Next, first one is hire purchase system. It is a facility to buy fixed assets by making a down payment, and balance amount will be paid in installments as per the agreement. The buyer becomes the owner only after the last installment is. The buyer becomes only when the last installment is paid. Basically, this gives an option. This mode of finance gives an option for a company not to block entire capital in buying the fixed assets. Leasing and renting. Leasing and renting are also financial instruments intended for companies whose purpose is to provide renting of any type of fixed assets. In leasing, there will be an agreement between the parties which cannot be broken down, but in renting, it is only optional. Venture capital. This form of finance is available to high-risk projects. High-risk projects, the rate of interest will be very high, which have they target high-growth startups which have potential for substantial returns. Next one is angel investors are individuals who provide capital to startups or the small business in exchange for rewards. They even offer mentorship and expertise. Crowdfunding are the platforms which facilitate businesses to raise finance from the large number of dividends. Commercial papers. It is a new money market instrument Only reputed and leading companies can issue these papers. It will be basically it will be in large denominations. This is also a short-term debt finance raised to meet short-term financial obligations for a company. Factoring services. This type of finance in which businesses would sell its accounts receivables or invoices to third party to meet its short-term liquidity needs. Basically, it is a mediation between buyers and sellers. And the mediator is nothing but a company which provides the factoring services. They provide loans on bills of exchanges and commission for their both commission and charge commission from both buyers and the sellers. Merchant bankers, they offer official assistance and advice and may ask for equity shares in return. They also expect 1 or 2 directors post for them to control companies to which they provide loans. And the next topic is regarding the role of a business economist. Role of a business economist. The business economist is a person who gives an idea to the business on economic and non-economic matters to help the business run smoothly and profitably. And he is also a person who analyzes the problems, suggests solutions, and provide information relating to the latest economic developments and environmental changes that are happening in the business environment. And he is supposed to assist with the decision making by providing information on demand analysis, forecasting, capital management, and profit management. He understands the level of competition in the market, so they can set prices and create policies and develop suitable strategies to meet the competition. He analyzes the risk factors and take appropriate measures, and they study how scarce resources are allocated and how this shapes the business economy and the society. He must be able to analyze various investment plans which are feasible for the company, and he must be able to maintain public relations and create goodwill for the company by his acts and deeds. Now with this, we have completed the first unit with all the relevant topics and the concepts in each and every topic that is being included in the first unit. Thank you.